Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champion, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me as always. They call him the BOAT. The man just do it all. He's got his own shows now. He's got books. You know what I mean? I think he might be in the process of writing another. He's a Renaissance man. I'm just trying to give you props, man. That's all.
I appreciate that, Book. I appreciate that. How was your weekend?
You know, man, I had a good weekend. Actually, I got a chance to sit back, relax, watch the Travelers Championship this weekend, the PGA Travelers Championship, and man, what a finish, man! What a finish on Sunday, because I tell you, Sahith Trigala, okay, he definitely had set himself up to pick up second PGA win on the tour, and I tell you, man, the 17th hole, he hit such a beautiful shot, clutch birdie, and then came to the 18th and shanked it in the bunker, right? And all he had to do was just get it out, get it on the green, make par. He wins the tournament. And it's kind of like up against the lip. I think Trigala, he may be from India or something like that. He's got that look. The ball is kind of like close to the lip. And he takes the biggest swing and he hits it, and the ball did not move. It stayed in the same spot. That's a stroke. Then he came out, end up double bogey in the hole. Xander Schauffele came back to win it. What a letdown, man. But what a tournament, man. Rory McIlroy on Friday, 13 under par. And then just had a total, just diffused, just totally just blew up. Double bogey, double bogey. I mean, ended up, back at 6. But it was a tournament, man, of golf, man. And
wasn't there an amateur who was doing really well for a couple days?
No, the amateur finished at 6 under. 6 or 7 under, or something like that. Yeah, he was he had the youngest. He was the youngest. He scored the lowest score, being an amateur in the a PGA event.
Wow.
Even surpassing Tiger Woods. So this kid got a lot of upswing, man. He looked real good. He looked real good. He was real. I can't think. He had a real.
It was a different name.
Yeah, his last name was.
I'll find out who it is.
I don't even want to try to pull it out my hat or anything like that, because I'm gonna screw it up. But kid had a hell of a day. But Trigala, he's definitely this kid's got talent, man. But that's all I did.
Michael Thor Bjornsson.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's definitely you got to have your tongue ready to pull that one off.
That's a tough one.
I'm serious. But now, man, I just sit back and relax, and I got a chance to get out and play 9 holes yesterday myself. And I swear, man, I want to thank those guys, man, over at Callaway Golf for sending me that new set. I tell you, man, that rogue driver and that rogue 3-wood par 5 on the way home yesterday, par 5 coming in. I hit my tee shot into the bunker. 3-wood out of the bunker, probably 210 yards. Approach wedge, something I never had in my bag. Maybe 100 yards to the green. Put it about, 8 feet out for birdie to walk off the course yesterday myself. And I tell you, man, I hit some beautiful shots yesterday myself. So I can't wait to just get back out and play around. But man, I got to get it in before this weekend, because we got money in the bank. You know what I mean? We got UFC 276 Israel Adesanya versus Jared Cannonier. Also on that card, guys, Volkanovski, Holloway. We do not want to miss out on that. 3 is going down, and as well, that kid is going to be on the card. Sugar Sean O'Malley. Kid's bad. He's fast. He's good. Taking on Munoz. So I tell you, man, I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm looking forward to the weekend. As well as I'm getting prepared. I'm getting jacked for that Reality of Wrestling's own Summer of Champions going down right here July the 9th. Booker T World's Gym Arena, big 5-on-5 match. Team Charmel versus Team Booker. I don't know if you noticed what I did there. Team Charmel versus Team Booker. You know what I mean? And somebody's gonna get hurt, man. Somebody's gonna get, as well as just came off of a hell of a weekend over at the baseball field there with the what do they call that?
The Space Cowboys.
What am I thinking, man? The Space Cowboys. I was almost about to say the Skeeters.
Yeah.
Formerly known as the Skeeters, the Space Cowboys. Reality of Wrestling went out there and had some fun this weekend as well. So, man, it's been an awesome weekend for me. Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's the thing though, with that 5-on-5 at Reality Wrestling Summer of Champions, the teams are set. And you have quite the roster of individuals there, Book. It's yourself going to be captaining the team and wrestling in the match. Brian Keith, former Reality Wrestling champion.
That's right.
Mysterious Q, the current Reality Wrestling champion.
And franchise.
Gaspar Hernandez.
The prodigy.
Your pupil, the prodigy. And making his return to Reality of Wrestling. NXT fans might recognize him, but he started in Reality of Wrestling. Blake Cortez makes his triumphant return to the Reality of Wrestling to compete in that match. That's a solid lineup. Book.
That's right.
A very solid lineup. So I mean,
and the competition does not compare.
Well, you have Will All Day.
Well, wait a minute. Will All who?
Will All Day. You know who he All Damn Day, the former Reality Wrestling champion. You, of course, have
you talking about the same guy who lost his confidence and who couldn't compete because he had a scrape, an injury? You talking about that guy, Will All something? But who else they got?
It was a little bit more than that, Booker T. But of course, you have Will All Day. You have Ryan Davidson.
The guy who has been around Reality of Wrestling for the last 10 years. And I've been trying to teach him to do the right thing. You might make it in this business, okay? That's what I think about Ryan Davidson.
You have the youngest Reality Wrestling champion in history, Gino Medina.
Gino, another one. If this kid just would take my advice. This kid would just take my advice. I taught him so much. I taught him everything, almost. But he would not listen. That's Gino Medina's problem. And the thing is, Gino Medina on July 9th, he's going to learn a hard lesson. Trust me.
Well, there's also Stephen Wolf.
Who? Stephen Wolf, the guy who look, he had his his shot under the bright lights. And now he's back at Reality of Wrestling, trying to crawl and scratch his way back to the big time. Well, let me tell you something, Wolf. You're going to be nothing more than a sheep after July the 9th.
And then last but not least, the conqueror, the captain of Stone Island, the former Reality Wrestling Television champion, Edge Stone.
I already told you what I think about this kid, Edge Stone. Came to me groveling, to resurrect his wrestling career. Almost like Adrian Broner right now crawling back to Mayweather. Yeah, and my thing is this. After this thing go down, July 9th, Edge Stone will be broken into 1,000 little pieces.
All right, well, you can see what happens on July the 9th. Of course, Team Charmel versus Team Booker. Winner gets complete control of Reality of Wrestling. Tickets are still available in limited quantities. We're also going to have some really awesome matches. The NWA women's champion will be defending her title against Gigi Ray. Of course, you're going to have the television champion in action, the Texas champion in action. It is the summer of champions, a big 6-man tag that's planned. We're going to get into the card here later, but lot of great stuff, book.
Yeah, it's a lot of great stuff, and you just made me hot, man. You upset me because I really didn't want to. I didn't want to go there, but you took me there. You know what I mean? I just want to let everybody know what was going down, but you had to let everybody know everything. But it's good. We got to take a break, guys. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
My name is Dan Miller, and I'm trained to be a professional wrestler here at Reality of Wrestling. Professional wrestling has been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. Growing up, I would have the toys, I would have matches with stuffed animals, I had a little paper championship. I always had that voice in the back of my head saying, can you do this? Can you really be a pro wrestler? And one day that voice got so loud, I just had to know. So I did my research, and I found that Reality of Wrestling is the best training ground in the whole country. You could sit down and turn on the TV every night of the week to watch pro wrestling, and you'll see someone who got their start in this ring. Reality of Wrestling teaches you everything you need to know about the business, from putting together the ring to putting together a TV show. This is a place where you can come and work on your fundamentals, work on your body, work on your interview skills. This is a one-stop shop for everything pro wrestling. If you have that voice in the back of your head, now is the time to find out if you have what it takes here at Reality of Wrestling.
Can you dig it, sucker? Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. We're just talking a little bit of everything here inside the Hall of Fame today. I just want to thank you guys for stepping in with us as well, all you guys in the chat, getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams here today. But we're talking everything. Like I said, UFC going down, a little MIB going down as well. MITB, money in the bank.
Oh, I was like, Men in Black? Why are the Men in Black here?
Let me throw it out there. You know, I just
MIB.
Yeah, money in the bank going down as well as UFC 276. We got a lot to talk about, man. Where you want to start?
We do. I do want to start somewhere that's actually not in any of those realms. I just want to know if you've been following the drama with Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets. And the reason why I bring this up, because I'm just curious because you've been in locker rooms before where people work with you and where they work against you. And I feel as though Kyrie has been working against the Nets almost since he signed there, right? And then the rumors were coming out today that he told the Nets he wants to find a sign and trade option. He's trying to get to LeBron and the Lakers. And it just broke literally a few seconds ago that he was unable to procure any team that were interested in his services through sign and trade. So he's opted in to play with Brooklyn again for the next season. But just what kind of message does that send to the rest of the team? And what do you think of Kyrie?
I mean, you know, that game is it's complicated. Okay, basketball, football, those type of games, very, very complicated. And then I just think when you play those sports, unlike professional wrestling, unlike MMA, it's a team sport. You're relying on everyone on that team to win, and I think that's where Kyrie kind of opted out from the beginning, that he wasn't down with this team thing. And I just say that, and the thing is, don't look at me for any other reason. Me saying this is it's my job to talk about this kind of stuff. Okay, Kyrie, when he didn't get the vaccine and everybody else did, and he had to stay at home, he couldn't even come to his own stadium and play, and everybody else did.
Yeah,
I think that sent a huge message as far as, man, this dude is, he's in it for himself. Um, and he seems to be, on his own little island. Um, and the thing is, let me step back for a second too. I can't. I'm not going to sit here and blame him or anything for it either. You know what I mean? Because what I always talk about, I always say, man, it's about getting paid and making your money. You know what I mean? But I think Kyrie, he's the one who's going to have to, suffer. Somewhat the way how people look at him after the thing is all over with. After he get past his basketball prime and it's all over with. He goes into the Hall of Fame. You remember, like in the Bernie Mac movie, Mr. 3000, um, he told T-Rex Pennebaker, you're going to get in the Hall of Fame one day and they're going to retire your number and they're going to put you in the Hall of Fame, and Bully Baru, I'm going to be there to induct you. And he go, who's that? And Bernie Mac said, that's my point. That's what he's going to have to deal with, I think, at the end of the day. And the question is, does he care?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think that
I don't think so. I don't think he does.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. A lot of times, his actions lead you to believe that he only cares about his own interest and his own pursuits. I mean, the vaccine's one thing too. I mean, I get it and I don't get it when it's a team effort. Like you said, it's not an individual sport. You got to make sacrifices that you're maybe not comfortable with at times. I get that that's with your health, but nevertheless, I think he should have done it. And then you fast forward to, okay, I don't want to be here anymore. Right? I want to find another team that will take me. And then you can't figure that money out. I don't think it was from lack of interest of other teams, but and some of them probably. But it sounded like LeBron really wanted to make it happen with the Lakers, and they couldn't make the deal happen. So now he's got to opt back in and return to the Nets. So what does that say to the rest of the locker room? What does that say to your best friend, Kevin Durant? Durant's going to say, wait a minute, man. Look, I had to deal with you.
Look here. I don't think those guys are best friends.
That's what they say.
In a minute, they'll be talking about each other on Twitter. I'm serious. As soon as this thing,
supposedly KD and James were real close too. Harden, right? And then Harden said, "Let me get up out of here."
Exactly. You know what I mean? So I think in that game right there today, it's all about the money. And LeBron James, he's a prime example of that. LeBron has always been about, man, let me go find a team where we're going to win. You know what I mean? I mean, this Cleveland thing is cool, trying to represent the city, but I got to get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? It's one of those type of deals, So I get it, man. At the end of the day, it's about getting paid. And, I can't throw no shame on that.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I just think that it's going to be a tumultuous situation with his current team now. I mean, it's even more.
Look here. Not if they're winning.
Yeah, well, they hadn't done any of that though. I mean, they've come close.
I understand that, but Kyrie
swept in the first round of the playoffs.
Kyrie might have to put his flag in the dirt and say, "Okay, guys, I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. Let's try to get one." Maybe that.
I don't think that's his mentality.
I don't know. Me personally, I can't speak on that, but I know if he's locked into a situation and he got some good players around him, and I don't think he's getting locked out of the game right now. I think everything's open. I think he can play. So I don't know. We'll see at the end.
Yeah, we'll see. Just interesting because and it's the sport that is the NBA, because you hear all day he's going to leave, and then at the end of the day, actually, no, I'm staying. I'm sticking around. But he's sticking around for $36 million. So there's a reason for him to stay.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even the Deshaun Watson thing is up in the air right now. They're talking about indefinite suspension. And that means up to 1 year. If that happened, I think they're going to be having some kind of hearing here over the next, few days or something like that. And they're going to determine, whether he's going to play or not. Me personally, like I said, I don't think we're going to see Deshaun Watson play, if at all ever again. That's just my opinion. But that thing is still crazy. I think he settled with like 20 of the women or something like that.
Something like that, 19 or 20. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, man, hey man, he got that big money, so he might as well go try to. Let's clean this thing up. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. What do you think about this situation?
I think that it's been a difficult one since the get-go. But after hearing some of the testimony from his own attorney. His actually attorney did a interview here in Houston with another radio station, and wanted to make it clear that you can have a happy ending as long as you don't pay for it in a massage. Did you hear him say that? It was something to that effect. And when he said that, I said, "Oh, hell no. This man's guilty as all hell." Well, I mean, what he did, he literally said, I think the words, what he did was not technically illegal. There's nothing technically illegal about a happy ending as long as you don't pay for it.
The thing is, you got to pay for it.
That's the catch-22.
I mean, come on.
If you pay for it, but nobody's really doing it for free. So
you just checking all the free ones. You know what I mean? Before you go to the ones you got to pay for. That makes no sense at all.
And I highly doubt there's 24 free ones, even in a city like Houston, Texas. So, I think, look, we don't know anything. He settled these lawsuits. So obviously we're not going to know if he was guilty or not. He's paying them in his mind to go away. These women are obviously happy with the settlements that they're getting, or they wouldn't be settling. I do think there needs to be some disciplinary actions, as long as there's evidence provided. And I think 24 women is a little bit more than smoke. I think that might be fire.
Hey, man. I don't know, man.
It's hard. It's hard to say. You know what I mean? It's hard to say because we don't know at least I haven't been following it closely enough. Let me preface it by saying that, to know the intimate details of each of the 24 lawsuits. So I'm just going off what I've heard and read and heard other people talk about. In hearing that, it sounds like he's going to get some sort of punishment.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I just feel bad for the brother more than anything, man, because he's a hell of a player.
Hell of a talent. Great talent.
For something like this to derail him in his mission on that football field to become great, that's sad, man. It really is, And what's crazy is, man, he just got caught up. He got caught up. It's a lot of them out there do a lot of the same thing, man, that just don't get caught. So I mean, but that still don't make whatever went down right, or whatever wrong was done. That's between him and them, and they're gonna have to settle it. They're gonna have to figure it out, all 60 of them. And that's a hell of a tip. That's a hell of a tip right there, dog. That ain't like going to Nobu. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious, man. But we gotta take a quick break. Stick around, you're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Oh, hey, there he is.
What's up, dog?
There you are.
Man, I don't know. I had a little glitch there for a second, but I had to click myself back in. But everything good. We good.
Everything's great, Book. Welcome back in the Hall of Fame.
Looking good. We're feeling good. I tell you that we're feeling good. I know people wondering, man, why Book got that tank top on? Because he getting ready to hit the gym. Soon as this thing wrap, man, I'm getting in the gym, training, gonna make a little barbecue, soy loin tonight, just to get a little the right proteins going into this big matchup, July the 9th. So I just want to let everybody know out there why. That's why. What were we?
We're talking a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We're talking about LeBron. I mean, we're not LeBron. We're talking about Kyrie. We're talking about Deshaun Watson. By the way, Russell Westbrook did something that most people in this generation don't normally do, Booker. He had an issue with what somebody said, right, on a show. This somebody being Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless has been calling him Wes Brick. And did you see what Russell Westbrook responded by saying?
No, what did he say?
He said, "I bet you wouldn't say that to my face." And and I got to give some love to Russ for speaking up. I'm not a big fan over people going after media critiques, right? But like at least he was like, "Look, you said this about me. I don't like it. I'm responding directly to you."
Nah, you know what? My thing is this: it's the way you say stuff about people too.
Absolutely.
He could easily talk about Westbrook's, not being as accurate as he perhaps once was.
Yeah.
I mean, he could easily frame it a certain way and not make himself look bad for somebody like Westbrook to snap back at him. And that's one thing that I try to do all the time is when I'm talking about a lot of these young guys, frame it a way to where I know I can say the same thing in their face because it's actually a point being made here, and it's a point that even they can understand it. It's like when people ask me about professional wrestling, they say, "Is wrestling fake?" I say, "Man, I'm gonna tell you just like I tell my kids. Anything that put a roof over our head and food on the table is real as a real can be." Okay, and that simplifies everything. So I say, just make people, feel like you're not trying to, get some clicks off of them. And I don't think you're gonna get that.
No, I appreciate it. Well, Book, should we start with things that happen in the world of pro wrestling? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go?
Well, the Forbidden Door just went down, man. Cesaro just made his big intro at the AEW.
Claudio.
Yeah, Forbidden Door pay-per-view, and that right there for me, that was huge, as well as Adam Cole. He got banged up. Something happened there, and he had a concussion. I don't know if you saw that or not, but I actually was watching it. I don't really. I forgot for some reason, man. Ever since I've been doing backstage, I get like after the shows, I always get a preview of all the shows, no matter whether it's WWE or whether it's AEW, and I still get it. So I was like, Adam Cole got banged up. Let me check it out and see what happened. And then when I watched it, I go, "Oh man, something happened there." I'm not quite sure what it was, but something happened.
It seemed like there's a fatal four-way.
Was it the drop kick? What was it?
Yeah. It seemed like the drop kick. He took it right in the face and almost looked like he was out on his feet as soon as it made contact. It was one of those that just hit him in the sweet spot. It was, of course, a fatal four-way match for the IWGP World Heavyweight title. I believe Okada, Jay White, Hangman Page, and Adam Cole. And yeah, man. And you could tell the whole finish of that match was out the window. I mean, I was watching it as it happened live. I was late to the show, but I was able to watch like the last 3 matches or so, 4 matches. And yeah, man, that was a rough one to see for him because the lights were on, but nobody was home. And
good match though. I mean, the match was going fairly well as far as,
up to the finish.
Yeah, the people were definitely into it, and then when that happened, but that's wrestling right there. And I don't want people to think that it's anything other than that wrestling. Get your bell rung, no matter what. I've been in that position before where my bell has gotten rung where I think I'm okay, and my legs tell me, "No, you're not okay. Stay right here for a minute, and we're gonna see if we can regroup." So that's wrestling right there. I don't call it reckless or anything like that. It's just part of what we do, especially when I always say, you got your. Always had my 4 ways of working. I had my house show, way of working, and then I had my overseas way of working, and then I had my coming off of overseas, hitting Monday night, and having to go out there and turn the engine up just a little bit because it's TV. And then I had that pay-per-view engine, that pay-per-view engine, man. It's time to turn it up. And you have no brakes, in that situation right there. So totally understandable. I always talk about, those guys having those pay-per-view shows and giving those fans that money's worth before they can actually tune in and see exactly, what's happening going on during the regular week. So my thing is, yeah, I get it, going out there and just, letting it all out. Totally.
Yeah. And I will say this about the Forbidden Door. I mean, it seemed to be snake bit because even like leading up into the show, a few more talents had to drop out, including Jungle Boy, who's now down with an injury. There was a couple others, I think, who had issues getting to the country. Someone had a fever and they couldn't make it into the United States. A lot of issues. So the show seemed like it was snake bit from the CM Punk injury on. But I think that they over delivered last night. I really do. I mean, from what I got to see, I didn't get to see the whole show, but from the matches I saw, which were the Cesaro match, the IWGP title match, and the main event, I mean, real solid. I went back and watched some clips. Now, you did say something that also came true.
I did. What was that?
You did. You said, because we were talking about how Sting just got off an injury, right?
Yeah.
He's just getting back. And you said, we know Sting's going to jump off of something. You said it like jokingly, of course, now that he's, free and clear. And last night, he jumped off the biggest something he could find in his career. 63 years old, dives off the entrance stage onto the Young Bucks below. I don't know if you got a chance to see the clip that went around there. But he landed it beautifully, got right up. Woo! And you know what? Here's the funny thing. That match, and the chat can agree with me or not, it seemed like it was booked around Sting. Like, he seemed to be the talent they were trying to get over in the match. You know what I mean? Like he was no-selling stuff. He was doing fire-ups and double lines on the Young Bucks. It was a lot of fun to watch. But it was kind of like you booked it in the way that they would book, like right now, like Braun Breaker, right? Like that, you booked the young guy to look super powerful. But it was really fun, man. I really liked it. It was good.
Hey, I can't hate on it, bro.
I can't either. I'm not hating on it at all.
You know me, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna hate on Sting out there living his dream out in that ring. I mean, that's WCW, man. It's like WCW Saturday Night for Sting right now. He's probably having his best time out there doing that, man. But I tell you, it's got to be hard. It's got to be hard on the old body for someone like Sting, especially jumping off of stuff like that. I mean, for me, it's scary to think about jumping off anything because you know how I am. I'm afraid of heights, but for someone like Sting doing something like that, just let me know he still got the passion to want to go out there and do it, and because no matter what, man, there's no way you can jumping off something, and even with those guys catching him, he's not going to wake up the following day going, "What the hell was I thinking?"
Yeah.
But to wield himself to go out and want to do it again just lets me know he still got a passion for it. So more power to him.
Yeah, he definitely seems as though I don't know what it is. Maybe it was just the fact that he had to sit out those years for the last couple of years, and he's like, man, you know what? This is literally no question about it, my last run. So let me just do all the stuff that I've always wanted to do. I want to be a superhero flying off the top. Here is the actual video so you can see it. I just think that it'd be nice for context so everybody can see Sting jumping off. You can see that, right? Yes. Okay. Here's Sting jumping off of the boom.
Oh my God. Let me see that again.
Boom. A little cloudy. Boom. Stinger. The Stinger. Got up, took his jacket off. Time to go to work. They did take his jacket off just a little slow there. A little slow. It's all good. The Stinger. Gotta love him.
Wow.
Gotta love him.
I don't even know what to say about that, man, to be honest. I really don't.
Would you never would take any of those kind of things, right? You did a cage dive one time, and I think you characterized it as the worst cage dive in the history of the business.
It was, and if you can't find it anywhere, they
We
took it
found
off.
it once, but we can't
Took it off,
find it anymore.
they took it off all platforms. Yeah, no, man. I'm not going to be doing anything like that. And to see Sting do something like that, man, I don't know, man. We got to take a break. We got to take a break after that right there. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. You're worth it.
13 years, the King of Solar Screens has been an industry leader, and we proudly use 100% American-made products. Home of the $55 any size, any color solar screen.
Well, what about arches?
$55.
What about circles?
$55.
What about rectangles?
$55.
Any size, any color, installed free. The King of Solar Screens, on time, every time.
Now, can you dig that, sucker? Can you dig it, sucker? Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Just talking a little wrestling tonight. What do you think about the impact Claudio is going to make for AEW wrestling?
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, he came in and took the place of the injured Bryan Danielson in order to be on the card, right, and wrestle Zack Sabre Jr. Had a huge pop. I will say probably the biggest reaction of the night, and it became somewhat of an open secret that he was going to be there, and he's going to be on Blood and Guts on Wednesday. I think that he's a good injection. Obviously, we've always been high on Cesaro in this show, Claudio Castagnoli. We've always been high on him. He is a Swiss Superman, and I don't know why his contract ran out with WWE. I don't know if it was over money, if it was over creative. It's a guy who I wouldn't want to lose from my roster. But you know what? He'd been there for how long? 12 years, maybe?
God, man, it's been that long.
10, 12 years, I think. Yeah. At least 10. At least 10 years.
Wow. It's a long time.
It's a long time. And you know what? My only issue is it felt like every time he was close to being, to the next level, something would happen, right? I can't really even explain it, but I know that he had that match with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 36 or 7, whichever one it was, 36-7, and really killed it. And then it kind of fizzled out. Yeah, so he had an 11-year run with WWE.
Wow.
So I mean, after 11 years, hell, you weren't in WCW that long.
It's a long time to wait.
Yeah.
It's a long time to wait. I always say if I had to wait, like I see a lot of guys on the independent scene, I go, man, I don't know if I would have been able to, wait, that long for my chance. I just don't think I could have waited. I was like, man, let me go be a stripper or something. You know what I mean? Because I need to make some money. I'm serious, man. I would have. I don't think I would have been. And then to see Claudio's situation, he was always my guy. Okay, Cesaro's always my guy. Always felt like him and I had a whole lot in common. Being around, for a long time. Working, your ass off and, waiting on someone to, pull your name, and say, this is the guy. And that happened for me. And like you say, it was many times we thought that was that moment for Claudio in the WWE. And it really never happened. Me personally, I really don't know why. But that's, one of the guys that I really feel like that could have been made by just giving him a huge push. And then, after that, it really wouldn't have mattered, what would, how how we used him, long as we kept him at a certain tier. But he was a guy that we could have made. And once you make a guy like that who can hold it, he's made forever. And that part right there, I don't think you would have ever had to really worry about with Claudio from an in-ring perspective, as well as you put him in the right situation with the microphone, he delivers there as well. So I just think, yeah, he's one that I wouldn't have wanted to lose.
He's a box checker, man. He really is. So like, think about it, right? And you know what? John Moxley did the post press event after Forbidden Door last night, and he actually said the same thing. He's like, he's got a superhero body. He can wrestle with the best of them. He's incredibly strong. He can cut a promo. He dresses well, right? He speaks 4 languages. He's the nicest guy in the world. He's like one of the most marketable guys you could run with. He's got an international appeal. Yeah. He's just a box checker. And I can't believe that he's not on there. And we don't know why. I mean, they could have just not come to terms on money, or he was ready to do something else, kind of like Daniel Bryant was just ready to do something else. Claudio is 41 years old. He doesn't have a lot of opportunities left, right, before he hits that 5-0 mark. He's got 9 years or what have you before he's 50. So you got to take the swings while you can still take them. Which actually brings me to another point. I was curious, and I looked something up last night with him coming in, because I didn't know that Cesaro was 41 years old. I thought he was younger than that. I thought he was like mid-30s, right? But then again, I didn't realize he was with the company 11 years. The average age of the guy who comes from WWE to AEW is 42 and a half years old. 42 and a half is the average age. Now, at 42 and a half, 43 years old, you were finishing up your run as King Booker, I believe.
I was getting close, yeah. And
heading to TNA for a couple years, and he came back.
Yeah.
So around your active career ended when you were what, like 46, 47?
45, 46.
45, 46. Okay. So if we say the average wrestler can go 45, 46, on average, the AEW guy who comes over, or the WWE guy who comes over from AEW has what, like 2.5, 3 years? Conceivably. I mean, Jericho goes to 50, Singh 63. I mean, who the hell knows?
That's what I'm saying. So,
but here's my question. WCW was always hit on for bringing in the old guys. That's what we always heard, right? Bringing in the old guys. Hogan, Hall, Nash, Savage, right? Well, their average age is 39 and a half. Do you see the point that I'm making here? I just wonder, is AEW building themselves for longevity or to win the moment? And I think that that's a question that we have to think about moving forward. It's great. I love that there's another place for these guys to go. But how much are they, I don't know. Are they building for the future? Or are they building for the right now? That's the question. Because when AEW started, it was all the young guys.
Well, I don't think you can build for the future. I think you got to build for the right now. The future will play out, as far as what AEW is going to turn into. But I think, the right now is, what we got to really, focus on. We can't worry about how old these guys are. We just got to think about their star power. If they got star power, we can bring them in and we can utilize that. Then today you look at, Ric Flair's just getting ready to have his last match at 73. And then you just said Sting at 63, 63. And
Jericho's 50.
If you look at it that way, these guys got at least a good 10 to 12 year run left in them. Because wrestlers can work, into and it's according to what Tony Khan is going to, allow to happen. You know what I mean? If he want a lot of, guys around that is running around that's 50 years old on the card, I don't know. When I look at AEW, I look at it a little bit different than the way I've looked at wrestling, because they are cutting their own, path, as far as what wrestling is and what it should be looked like, what it should be looked as. So my thing is, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this then. But let me ask you this, because again, this is just for me watching those Monday Night War documentaries they put out all the time. And they always said the reason why WWF at the time won the war was because the guys they were getting from WCW, the guys who were jumping ship from WCW, were the Jerichos, Young Star, the Radicals, the Young Stars, the Giant, the young talent who hadn't become the superstar yet, right? And WWE saw a way to get them to that level. That was why they won the war, quote unquote, or a contributing factor to it, right? And
I beg to differ. That's the reason why they won the war.
It was a contributing factor.
I really don't think it's a contributing factor, honestly.
Why they win the war?
Because I was there watching how much money that was going out and how much money was coming in. Sooner or later, somebody said, "Man, we can't do this anymore." That's exactly what happened.
Well, why was the money going out? Because who are they spending it on?
Well, they were spending it just to spend it. It wasn't the guys that were on the roster, so to speak, more so than the guys that wasn't on the roster. It had a whole lot to do with a lot of different variables other than young wrestlers. I think that didn't have anything to do with it. If that was the case, John Cena wouldn't be coming back tonight. If that was the case, Goldberg would be coming back. If that was the
no. But I'm talking about, again, building the star of tomorrow. Right?
No. What I'm saying is, I just don't think that those stars that came over played that big of a difference in what WWE and WCW as far as who won and who lost. I just don't think it had a whole lot to do with it. I really don't. That's just my opinion. But I don't think that had, if any, little to do perhaps with what happened with WCW.
Okay, I mean, to me, when I just look at it, I think that AEW is doing something real smart. Like this, what they're doing is getting, like you said, the name recognition talent, right? But my thing is, what are we going to do with them if we do have that limited space to make the next generation of guys? Because that's what you want them for, right? I mean, don't you bring in the veteran talent to do two things? One, bring in the current audience who knows you, and then two, help make the younger talent.
That's what you're supposed to use it for. Yeah.
Right. So that's my only question with AEW is, like, I love that, we can still see Daniel Bryan and CM Punk and Claudio wrestle.
Okay.
But where are we going?
You're saying that, but the point that's being proven is making your point. I wouldn't say worthless or anything like that. But you see that the older guys that's coming over to AEW, they're the ones that's getting the titles. They're the ones that's getting the push.
That's my point.
You know what I mean? So, just like a Darby Allin, where's his position been since the older guys came in? As far as
it seems like it's been minimized.
My opinion. What I'm saying is, as far as trying to push the younger guys to the next level, so that's what I'm talking about. So.
Well, I think we're kind of actually.
I think the same thing that's going on now is the same thing that went on back then.
Right. No, I think that we're actually kind of saying the same thing. I do. I think maybe we're going about it different ways. But to me, I think it's great to have a balance of veteran talent and young talent on there. But you just need to be careful that the young talent doesn't look at the veteran talent and say, why are these guys getting all the opportunities?
Well, look at MJF.
That's what happened in WCW. That's all I'm saying. That's what happened in WCW.
Well, I mean, this MJF thing, let's just think about that for a second. You think he's complaining about it's a reason why we hadn't seen MJF for a while. It's a reason why no one has said his name. Okay. It's a reason. Okay. And it's not because this is a work. Okay. That's not it. Okay. It's because somebody's upset that older guys coming in and getting pushed over the younger guys. Is it a work? We'll find out in the long run. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
indies for a couple of years, and for me, I could not take that experience back for anything. I mean, learning how to wrestle in front of 6 people and trying to draw emotion out of people who maybe just by happenstance came across the show, but to work with conditions where the ropes some are too tight, some are too loose. Some of the rings had big dips in it, trying not to trip over the canvas, and just having that experience of working in all these different, every ring was different at every indie show that I did, and so to know that I have to put on a good show regardless of the circumstances, even if the ring doesn't show up and I have to wrestle on a gymnasium floor, hoping for the best, it really, really helped shape my ability to be able to think on the fly and made me who I am today.
What's up, this Booker T, 2-time Hall of Famer. I know you're checking out the Shine, checking out the Gloss. I want to thank you guys for checking out Row on YouTube. Hey, don't forget to click and subscribe to check out all the latest content right here each and every week. Now, can you dig that, sucker? Can you dig it, sucker?
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me, as always. And man, we got a whole lot to talk about. And I see we got a few super chats right off the bat. So let's take care of those super chats, man.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great idea, Book. Let's go to the very beginning of our super chat run. It's been great. Now, if you have a question for Booker T, myself, you have a comment, you want to talk about something pro wrestling, MMA, boxing related, go ahead and send it on over. We have from Mick Mack, says, hey, Book, what was the go with your accent in TNA?
D5. It's all about D5. Yeah, I remember that, man. That was a cool accent, actually, bro. I mean, in wrestling, you can be who you want to be. You can transform. It's almost like the movie, that movie with Schwarzenegger. Oh man, what's the name of it? Where you could be a secret agent. You could be a playboy. You could be.
Not Total Recall.
Total Recall. That's it. Yeah,
I always get that and Minority Report mixed up.
Yeah, it's like that, man. Wrestling is like that. You could be, whatever you want, man. And so for me, I was digging the Last King of Scotland in certain movies I was watching back then. I was like, man, Forrest Whitaker played a really, really good role in that movie. So I just want to play him for a second. And that's what, transformed me into, the King Booker. Just Booker T. I guess he was the Jamaican, the African. I don't know what it was, man, but I was just having some fun. In TNA, I had to entertain myself. Okay, I really did. I thought I was going to TNA to really do some great things with some of the young guys, and it did not turn out that way. And it wasn't because of me or anything like that. I was willing to do just about anything to a certain degree in that company. And I so wanted to put those young guys in a position where they were going to come up, just like what we were just talking about here a little while ago. I just wanted to make those guys shine. Didn't get a chance to do that. So I said, man, let me just have some fun where I'm not going to stress myself out, come to work, do my thing, go ride the rides at Disney, go home. That's what happened.
It sounds good. I will actually say this about TNA is they have their streaming service, Impact Plus, right? Where they have the whole library up. And I was actually watching the very first TNA pay-per-view last night, the very first one ever, right? And they have all the NWA legends in the ring. Ricky Steamboat's there. Jackie Fargo's there, right? I mean, they have all the legends in the ring cutting a promo. And Steamboat, this is the first thing on the show. And Steamboat, in TNA history, Steamboat's talking about how we're going to have a gauntlet for the gold battle royal to declare the NWA champion tonight, right? And then Jeff Jarrett comes out and he starts crapping all over the battle royal. This is a terrible idea. But he's the heel, so it makes sense, right? And then Shamrock interrupts him. Ken Shamrock comes out, and he's the baby face. And he says to Jeff Jarrett, you know, Jeff, you're right. This battle royal idea sucks, right? So then Scott Hall's music hits. He comes in from the crowd. Babyface, hey, yo, huge reaction. He said, Jeff, Ken, you know what? This battle royal idea, I agree. It sucks. So I'm thinking, I'm trying to figure out where they're going with this. I've never seen this before. So I'm thinking Ricky Steamboat's going to say, well, you know what, guys? If y'all think it's such a bad idea, how about we scrap the battle royal? We're going to turn this into a triple threat match for the NWA World's Championship. That's where I thought this was going. But they still went with the battle royal. So I don't know why they spent all the time crafting on the idea of the main event of their first show. It was driving me crazy.
Oh my God, that was DNA for you, man. Like I said, I didn't understand a whole lot of that was going on.
Night one.
What's this other channel, man? I don't know if you got Pluto TV.
Yeah.
Man, it's this channel on there. I mean, they got like Nonstop Impact, of course, but it's this other wrestling channel, and they like show like old school stuff. And man, it was crazy, man. I just flipped it on there just last week, and it was in the main event, and it was Sherry Martel in the main event. It was so freaking awesome. And she had such an awesome match with this girl, man. And the finish was just nuts. And I was like, wow, man. And Sherry could have worked today with the girls out there because she was really that good, man. I miss her. But so you definitely got to check it out. It's on Pluto TV. It was called Battling Beauties. And I was like, man, I got to just check this out. It was a commercial break, came back, and boom, Sherry's up. The Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling came on right after that.
Oh,
you know,
great.
so yeah. So I was hooked, man. Charbel was like, what is wrong with you?
I could be watching much worse.
Oh my God.
Nick Mack says, this is my second favorite show behind Stevie Ray TV. Also, is your name Booker T based on the band Booker T and the MGs with the song Green Onions from the 1960s? Great song.
No, man, my dad's name was Booker T. OG. I'm a junior. That's where I got the name from. I can't say where he got his name from, but you know, it's worked for me. I hated my name as a kid. You know, kids are cruel. You know, they used to call me Booger, of course. Used to get into fights all the time. I was like, man, when I turn 18, I'm changing my name. And I couldn't wait to turn 18 and never got around to changing my name. And then when I became a wrestler, it actually was a pretty cool name. So as well as all them suckers, man, all them suckers who used to talk about me, you know, I always say, now, how you like me now? You know, so yeah, it works. It works. Yeah.
There you go. FBGM Loso says, crazy how Book said Adam Cole might get injured. Everyone bashed him on Twitter. Turns out he was right. They're going to learn to listen to the 5-time.
You know, I didn't want to say that. I wasn't going to bring that up or anything like that. And the thing is, I really don't think that had to do with, you know, why he got injured.
No, it didn't.
I think the wrestling today, guys go out there and they do it a little bit differently than we did from that perspective. We, really wanted to go out there and make you believe, what we were doing and draw you in to the point to where you felt a certain way. But we really thought about those guys that we were working with at the same time. Not saying that those guys wasn't. I also said things happen in wrestling as well. It's just part of the game. It's wrestling, so it just, timing, bad timing, especially when everything's been said on the internet.
Yeah, no. And I said I wasn't going to be petty. I really did. But it just was interesting when they were showing the package online for Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. Danielson was talking about how he wrestled him when he was younger. And he said, I thought to myself, if this kid can put on some more muscle, maybe he'll be something. I'm just going to leave it at that. Daniel Bryan said that. I didn't say that. I just.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Look, and then they said it on commentary too. Taz said it on commentary. I'm not saying it. I'm just a messenger.
Man, that's great. But
the messenger.
That's just they just playing. I was serious.
Oh, that's
TV. That's the difference.
Well, that's because you're just a terrible person.
Yeah.
Callie Toenail says, what are your thoughts on Ric Flair's heated promo? Man, I had chill bumps. I think Flair is going out there like Austin did and really laying it all out.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you wasn't interested, you are now. The promo, Ric Flair definitely made you feel it, man. Just what he said, talking about, we ain't gonna be talking about this is real wrestling. Oh, good God, man! I got goosebumps when he said that right there. Oh man, Rick went hard, bro. He went hard. And he said, what was the reason why he said people are coming to see it? Because I'm a big deal. He threw a little something else in there. But that right there, man, is that's what wrestlers were, man.
He's talking to you in the building.
Man, he's cutting a promo, man, and he's making you say, man, I don't know, man, I gotta go see it. I gotta go. So yeah, man. I thought it was awesome.
Here's my question. Are you gonna go see it?
Well, we got the pay-per-view
The night before.
The night before, and I'll just stick around, And no, I'm not gonna go, man, not because I don't want to go see Ric Flair, last match. I would love to go see Ric Flair's last match, but it's got a few other things. And a few other reasons why I think I should stay away and stay at home, because I might run into some people, some just might happen.
We'll end it at that. Roland Curtis says, we'll take this for the break. Good look and worker. Was Cesaro good at cutting promos?
Well, you really can't say. I don't think Cesaro really had a chance to, really go out and cut a lot of promos. Especially perhaps not the way he wanted to cut the promo. WWE is a structure. It's a lot different than, AEW. As you see, a lot of guys that go over there, you think Christian would have been able to cut that same promo he cut last week, in WWE, probably not right now, being a publicly traded company and whatnot. Guys can go over there and have a little bit more freedom. So I think with Cesaro, I think we're going to start to see a whole lot more of what, perhaps Cesaro wanted to do in WWE. We'll see, because 100%, I'm in his corner. I want to see this dude succeed. Even though he succeeded in WWE and made a lot of money, he probably want to do a whole lot more with his career before that part is over with. And that right there, you cannot blame any man for wanting to do something like that. I get it. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. You're worth it.
Walker Texas Ranger handles the bad guys with a roundhouse kick. I'm Jim Walker, Walker Texas lawyer. I handle the insurance companies with a roundhouse kick to the wallet. If you've been injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, give me a call at 713-552-1117 or visit my website at walkertexaslawyer.com. You'll be glad you did. Why would you call anyone else?
Can you dig it, sucker? Shoop! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Talking about the final match. Ric Flair is going down. It's going down, guys. It's going to happen. And if you're anywhere in the vicinity, I remember when we first started talking about this, people thought I was, crazy or what. I don't know what they thought, but I said, if you're in the vicinity, you're going to go see it. And Ric Flair was, I think on the promo, he said 9,000 people, and the place only holds 7,000. The fire marshal going to be going crazy because the place is going to be packed out to the damn rafters, standing room only, to see the Nature Boy Ric Flair. So style and profile. So I said it, man. That's what nostalgia. That's what nostalgia is. That's what nostalgia do to you, man. Like I say, it just make you want to be a part of it because it's a once in a lifetime event. It really is.
I'm really thinking about it because I'll be there SummerSlam weekend, and I'm thinking about seeing the Nature Boy make that walk. It'd be hard not to. Shadow Moss says, Booker T, your opinion is very, very wrong.
As far as which one?
I don't know. I guess all of them.
Let me know what opinion is wrong, and we could dispute what somebody's opinion is wrong or not. You know what I mean? And we'll take that for free. Just put it out there. I need to know which one of my opinions and which one of my takes, is wrong. Just because I'm rarely wrong on anything.
Well, let's see if he says something. So let us know. DJ 1491. I think that's going to be the headline. Booker T says he's rarely wrong. Do you think these guys not working as much during COVID than transitioning to a full schedule is causing all of these injuries? Yeah, the injury bug has been real bad, especially on the AEW side, but on the WWE side as well. Seems to be one of those times. I don't know if guys are just getting caught up with the schedule. What do you think it is, Book?
I don't know what people think there again, just like that, guys. Just like the guy just said, my opinion's all wrong. One thing I've always said, and whether you believe it's true or not, I do. Time off in this business is your worst enemy. It really is. Time off is your worst enemy. And the reason I say that is because I've been on a full-time schedule and I've been sore, beat up, bruised, battered and torn, but I can still get up and go. That's just part of it. It's like, you're like a robot. And then I've had times where I've gotten injured and then I'm off for 3 months. Okay. And then I come home and then I go, wait a minute, man, I feel good. And nothing hurts. You know what I mean? And then next thing you know, you get right back in there and that first bump, everything jar all over again. Your body literally, it's like a car crash. You're in a car crash. You may not think a whole lot happens. But trust me, getting in a car crash at 50 miles per hour and that jolt to your body, it's going to do something whether you know it or not. Diving off the top rope, you know what I mean? Every night, your body get used to it and then dive off of it a month later and see how much more it hurts. And I just think that's what it is. I just think time off is these guys' worst enemy. You know what I mean? And that's why, when we were talking about these guys working an indie schedule, and working for AEW, is that a good or bad thing? In essence, it might be a good thing. These guys, because they're staying tuned, keeping their body prepped for what they're getting ready to go out there and put it through. So I just think time off is worst enemy in the business. Yeah,
you've said that for a very long time, so it could be what's going on. The Gav Norris says, did Booker and Punk beef over trash in the locker room? Did you have beef with CM Punk over the trash in the locker room? This comes from a story that was told by Cody Rhodes on a Chris Jericho cruise a few years ago.
I don't know. Maybe you can reaffirm this with CM Punk, but I don't ever remember having a beef with CM Punk ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just being honest. Punk can confirm that for me, but I don't think Punk and I ever had any beef. That would not be the word to use to describe CM Punk and I, relationship.
All right, we'll move on. Shadow Moss, this is a man from earlier, says, you say you can be anything, but you sit there and hate.
What am I hating on? Tell me, damn it, tell me what am I hating on? Maybe this kid is too young to even know about what we're talking about here. Or maybe he's special.
Oh, there you go. His mother told him.
So I'm going to stay away from that one right there. I ain't got no hate for nobody, all right? That's not what we do here on the show, is hate on anybody. And Brad, we've been talking here for, the last, 45 minutes to an hour. What have I hated on? Can you tell me, please?
Today or in
we talked about the Forbidden Door. We
Yeah,
talked a
that was
little bit
good.
about Adam Cole. We talked a little bit
That was
about,
unfortunate.
Cesaro, now Claudio. We talked about
Really
him.
big fan of his.
What?
Kyrie? Were we hating on Kyrie?
I don't think I hated on Kyrie.
I don't think we hated on Kyrie
Said
either.
Kyrie is trying to get his paper, man, and that's just the way the game is.
I don't know.
You know, that's the thing. People make up stuff. This conspiracy theory world is freaking nuts today. So I don't know, man. Kick out. That's what we say in wrestling. Kick out.
Kick out of it.
But what else we got, man?
Shannon Moore. Booker, did you fight Batista Y4 in 06? Well, you've talked about this. Buy the book. Buy the book.
And the thing is, I wouldn't even. One thing about men in locker rooms.
Talk about it.
Let's get this one straight one time, real quick.
Talk about it.
That's not something that I talk about as far as like Batista now or any other incident that I've had in the locker room, because real men really don't go around talking about that kind of stuff and really bringing it up and trying to score points and because I never considered myself a tough guy or anything like that. I just don't do that. I protect myself, at any moment's notice. But as far as going out there trying to be a bully and wanting to get into a fight with people, nah, man. Then going around and talk about locker room stuff like that, that's not what the real boys do. When they see me come in the building, and you see some young guy, and they just breaking into business, and they over there in the cut, and they see me walk in, you know what they say?
What do they say?
That's the real boy there.
Justin Cortinas says, what do you guys think about the pictures of Tony Khan hugging all over the boys last night for the media to see? Okay, before you answer this, Booker, I don't know if you saw this, but here's the thing. We actually like to, I don't want to say poke fun at Tony Khan a little bit for his promo or his like post-media scrum, but I'm actually going to come to his aid on this one. I think he was so happy that he got through this hell of a booking of putting this card together. I mean, he was put through hell and back trying to get this thing together. I think the brother was just so happy it was over. He wanted to hug all the talent for going off and pulling off probably their best show they've done all year. Forbidden Door was the best AEW show all year. And they did that without a lot of their top guys. So yeah, it looked funny when you saw it in pictures. But I think I got why he was doing it.
The one when he was with Claudio and when he was crying, it did look funny though.
They look funny. I'm not gonna lie.
When people can catch the shot right at the right moment and make it look however they want. But my thing is this, man. I'm not gonna sit here and judge Tony Khan or anything, man. It's not my job to do that. I'll let people out there in internet world, try to score points by trying to make Tony Khan look a certain way. Yeah, one thing about people, if we were all the same, the world wouldn't be nowhere near as exciting. I really don't think so. So when I see someone like Tony Khan, he has his quirks about him. He might be different, but that is what makes the world go round. People would have, looked at Forrest. I know you've seen the movies Forrest Gump.
Of course.
And come on, can you imagine, how people would, look at him, the people that didn't know he had all that money.
Yeah.
And then the people that know he has all that money, how they look at him.
Yeah.
It's a totally different lens, So guys, wake up and think about that for a second. Just think about that for one moment.
And speaking of Forrest Gump, let me give my flowers over to Tom Hanks and Austin Butler. I saw that new Elvis movie over the weekend. Tom Hanks is I never thought I would hate that man in any movie. He plays Colonel Tom Parker, Elvis's, longtime manager. Boy, was he the villain of that story, brother. Let me tell you. And the young man, Austin Butler, who played Elvis, you would have thought the king had come back to life. I mean, he crushes it. And Doja Cat has a rendition of Hound Dog in the movie. This movie was made for me, Book.
Yeah, I gotta check it out just for that alone.
Yeah.
And stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
About yourself, as far as that grind, how much do you actually embrace it? How much do you actually feel like that is a part of this journey?
Oh man, well, thankfully now the scene in where I'm from, I'm living in Oklahoma right now, and I wrestle in Texas. But thankfully now the scene is kind of growing with the streaming platforms. With places like Reality of Wrestling down there in Texas, you get a bigger buzz here. But for years it was hard, and so you had to get out there and travel. So there'd be many a nights where I was on the road by myself, 7, 8, 9, 10-hour drives there and back, sacrificing time with my family, sacrificing time at my real job, trying to just make ends meet. But when you really love this, and I tell people this all the time, some people just love coming through the curtain. You can't just love coming through the curtain. When you really love this, you fall in love with the ground. Before you go down, so hate squats, man. I hate deadlifts. But if you really love this, you got to learn to love all of it. Every facet of it, every bit of sacrifice, every bit of time that you're losing with birthdays, loved ones, all of that.
Yeah.
When you really want it, when you really sacrifice, and when you start to see it pay off, you realize all of that is worth it and then some for this.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here, and we just chopping it up, man. We just chopping it up. I know we got a few more super chats to get to, man. And I don't want to leave anybody hanging today, so let's get to him, Brad.
All right, this comes from Ricardo T, who says, big up my king and Sir Gilmore. Do you think that Omos could do better with a character like Apollo Crews' Nigerian royalty gimmick? Also, do you have family from the Caribbean? I am from Jamaica.
No family from the island. But I love going to the island. Me and the Queen, we're thinking about going to Turks and Caicos. Coming here real
That's
soon.
your spot. You love that place.
Love that place. But Omos, no, I don't think he would do better by having a gimmick. I think Omos should just be a giant, just like Andre back in the day. We just need to get him seasoned more than anything. We just got to get him totally prepared for what he need to go out there and do on a regular basis. And I wish. And I wish I just had my hands on that kid for 3 months, and I don't want to speak too loud because I don't want nobody calling me saying, hey, Book, what are you talking about? I heard something, you know what I mean? Because it's just extra work for me. But that kid with the right tutelage, because I teach guys like Omos, just say, for instance, we go through the training session and I'll say, I will teach you how to do everything, but you're probably not going to do any of that. And they go, what you talking about? And I go, let me show you. And then after that 3 months, the eyes are open. Yeah, and then it's a monster has been released on the world, and his name is Moss. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, man, I think that kid could be something. It's just a matter of that right path. But go ahead, Brad. What we got?
Right path. I hear you. I like Omos. Mick Mac with the 8 says, do you have a fan mail address? I want to send you Collingwood Magpul's Afi Guernsey to replace that St. Kilda one you got in Australia.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. Mick Mac, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing all of this stuff. Collingwood Magpies. AF, I don't know, Book. I don't know.
Hey, man, we'll figure it out. But whatever it is, like Muhammad Ali said, if it's good, I'm that.
Aaron C says, is Roman the new Lesnar? Just wrestling what he wants? Time off the worst enemy?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, is he the next Lesnar? Perhaps, and I think there again, wrestling's changed a whole lot. Even in WWE, a guy like Roman, a guy like Brock, certain guys get to that level to where, I mean, you even hear guys taking off, taking time off now, and you don't see them for a couple of weeks. It was never like that before, so I do think I'm a fan of giving the guys a rotation as far as, being, able to use them at certain times, of being able to rotate them, from a position that we can rest these guys a little bit at the same time. Having rest and being off the road is two different things now. And I say that because back in the day, we used to have around Christmas time, we had about 14 days off, 14, 15 days off in a row. And brother, we was like kids at Christmas time, couldn't wait on that freaking time, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden that time went away. And you want that little bit of breathing room to take the wife out and feel like like you could do something for a second. So I get it.
I definitely understand. I definitely understand the schedule there. We have another one. Do you remember anything the Steiners taught you?
Nothing. They didn't teach me nothing. I learned nothing from the Steiners. I'll tell you that right now. And I said that real quick. Steiners wasn't guys that I was looking to learn anything from. All right. Not at all. They were good wrestlers. They were good at what they did. They were like pranksters too, big ribbers, and I didn't like ribbing people or anything like that. But they were big ribbers. But as far as working those guys, some of my best matches as far as tag team wrestling goes was with the Steiner brothers. I always talk about Hog Wild, Sturgis, South Dakota. Man, what a night. What an evening working with the Steiners, man. If you go back, guys, and watch that match, what a freaking night. We were like the most hated, heels in the world, it seemed like, in Sturgis, two black guys, at a bikers rally. You couldn't paint that a better picture than that, man. I'm serious. And me and my brother, we wanted to whoop everybody there. We went running and we went hiding, which was so great. So go back and check that match out. You know what? I'm gonna go check it out tonight after we wrap up.
Kid says, who would you have play you in your biopic?
I don't know, man. Brad, you might be more aware of, who would play that role a little bit better than I.
I guess it would depend on what era of your career, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a toughie. That's a tough one. I'd have to put some real thought to that.
I never thought about that,
Probably an unknown.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
I never thought about that, to be honest, just because never thought about, having a biopic. So I don't know. We'll see.
Somebody young. Somebody would come to me. Alex Cosentino says, why do you think fans' signs have died down so much? Attitude Era, every fan had a damn sign. Made the show so much better. Also, any memorable ones?
Man, I wouldn't necessarily say any in specific that's memorable, other than I do remember seeing the Raise the Roof signs, back in the day. And I tell you, man, that made me feel so pumped up. It gave me so much energy knowing that I had fans there that was specifically coming there to see me, because they let the world know with that sign, and they was raising it high, man. And I don't know why, signs went away. I can't imagine the building, telling them, telling them not to bring it or anything like that. But I do encourage the sign game, because it definitely made the feel of wrestling bigger, and I loved it.
Yeah, I used to love the ones. They would always have like I remember like one where it was The Rock, and they had it was like a portrait of The Rock, and yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Stuff like that, man. It was just so unique, and it made the building feel like it was moving at certain times, So yeah, I missed that part of wrestling. Seriously,
I remember I made a sign when I went to my first WWE show, but then I didn't. This is how considerate I am. I was I didn't want to raise it, because I was like, well, what if the guy behind me can't see? I was a considerate young man.
Yeah,
so
right.
I put it up real quick, and then I take it down, because I didn't want to. I'm like, this guy paid for the seat behind me.
Oh man, I used to love as a wrestler to take that damn sign and tear it up in like 20 pieces and just throw it up like confetti, and that kid would be so mad because they'd spent all day working on that sign. Oh, I used to love that, so yeah, I missed the sign game, man.
I know we had a guy, we talked about him earlier, Gino, who's from Reality of Wrestling. There was a gimmick that kind of he was running with in his entrances where he would tear up the signs, right? And one time, one fan got real smart and they laminated their sign. They got smart. We have a couple here left before we wrap up for the day. Roland Curtis.
Oh, that's good.
Canelo really hates Triple G. Any early predictions?
Even Canelo coming off of a not so great performance. Maybe.
Well,
yeah, of course. That's what I mean. But my point was biting off perhaps a little bit more than he could chew. I don't think Triple G is going to be biting off anything that he had chewed on before. So as well as I do think Triple G, is going to go out there and win that fight. I don't know how easy it's going to be or anything. Canelo is going to go out there and win that fight. I don't know how easy it's going to be or anything like that because, Triple G, he's still, capable. The thing with Triple G is that number just catching up with him. Father Time is just catching up with him. That's it.
Shadow Moss, the gentleman from earlier who doesn't like your opinion, says, "Hey, I apologize. I just feel like AEW gets so much hate and no one tries to uplift the company for the groundbreaking thing that they do. Sorry."
Okay, let's talk about that before we get out of here. We talked about AEW. We talked about Forbidden Door. We talked about Cesaro coming there and being a big upgrade for that company. And the guy can do anything. I don't think we said anything negative about AEW. I don't even think I said anything about Adam Cole getting injured other than that's wrestling. That happens. So I appreciate the apology. And if you listen to the show a little bit more careful, you'll see that here on this show, we don't bash nobody for nothing. You might have us mixed up with a lot of other shows out there, and it's just trickling down, the trickle-down effect. But now here we'll tell it like it is. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it. And I believe we have time for their last one. And here it goes. Where did it go? I missed it. I've lost it. Here it is. Booker, ever thought about another match in WWE?
No, never think about another match in WWE. I mean, if it happens, I think I'll probably say yeah. It's just not something wrestlers do is tear down wrestling matches or anything like that. But I don't have any itch to scratch or anything like that. I've scratched every itch. But preparation is the only luck you're ever going to have. So I'll be in the gym training. I can guarantee you I will be doing it just for the money. No other reason. So I'm just keeping it real. But I'm definitely gonna hope you guys come out and check it out. We got to get out of here, man. What do you think? You guys that hung out with us here today. Champagne wishes, carry our dreams. We love you guys. Bradley, as always, man. Appreciate you for making sure you got the tech fingers and making me look good on a regular. But guys, we'll be seeing you guys in a couple. But right now, peace. We out.
Sucker!